Welcome back to We Talk News. I'm PCM founder Jimmy Young, and again, Elena Pinto will be back next week. As we mentioned in the A block, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts has issued a cease and desist letter to all licensed liquor stores, package, and convenience stores to remove THC infused products from their shelves. Delta 8 is banned in the Bay State, and many of these products are untested for sale in unlicensed businesses. The Alcohol and Beverage Division of the Bay State sent a letter out stating, "Please be advised that it is unlawful to manufacture and or sell food or beverages containing hemp-derived CBD and or THC. This applies to alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages. These products must be taken off the shelf immediately. Any licensee found in violation of importing, manufacturing, transporting, selling, and or possessing on its licensed premises food and or beverages containing hemp-derived CBD and or could face potential suspension or revocation of its license." Now, in the same week of this announcement, one of the oldest and famous Chinese restaurants in Massachusetts, the Kowloon in Saugus, a town just north of Boston, has teamed up with the multi-state operator Air Wellness to introduce a licensed legal THC infused Mai Tai beverage that was launched at Air Wellness's Watertown location over this weekend. Uninfused samples were given out in the parking lot outside of the dispensary, along with the Kowloon food truck that was giving away classic poo-poo platter items like crab rangoon, lo mein, and spring rolls. The infused 5 milligram THC Mai Tai were for sale inside the dispensary.
In California, average THC potency decreased by 7% in the first 3 months of 2024 after there was a change in state law governing how labs test for THC, according to SFGate. And speaking of the Golden State, there's a surprising twist in law enforcement's stance on cannabis there. According to a recent report, a growing number of California cops are voicing their support for the legal cannabis industry. This shift in attitude is a far cry from the days of harsh crackdowns and zero-tolerance policies. It seems that many officers now recognize the potential benefits of a legal cannabis market, both in terms of public safety and economic opportunities. And speaking of law enforcement, the California Senate has approved a bill that would remove employment protections for certain law enforcement jobs when it comes to cannabis use. This move aims to align the state's policies with the federal government's stance, and we all know what that is. While the bill has sparked debates around personal freedoms and workplace safety, it highlights the ongoing tensions between state and federal cannabis laws. Shifting gears, the environmental impact of illicit cannabis farms is making headlines. A recent article in the Guardian paints a grim picture of the ecological damage caused by illegal operations in California's wilderness areas. From water diversion to toxic pesticide use, these farms have left once thriving ecosystems barren and devoid of wildlife. It's a sobering reminder of the importance of responsible and sustainable cultivation practices. Last but not least, the cannabis industry in California is undergoing a major consolidation. As reported by the Times-Herald, big players are gobbling up smaller businesses, changing the face of the state's cannabis landscape. While this trend may bring economies of scale and streamlined operations, concerns have been raised about the potential loss of diversity and innovation that smaller craft producers bring to the table. There's always something going on in the Silver State, and our Nevada correspondent, Tina Tasaka, is here with the rundown in the 702.
I'm Tina Tasaka with 420 Technologies, and this is the Nevada Report for Weed Talk News. As the marijuana industry continues to thrive and expand in Nevada, there's a new effort to train the workforce, and getting into that effort is UNR. The University of Nevada, Reno will now be the first college in Nevada to offer cannabis education. As one of the fastest growing sectors in America, the cannabis industry has a critical need for workers trained specifically in the areas of cultivation, production, and sale of cannabis products. Max Simon, CEO of Green Flower, has partnered with UNR and other college campuses across the country to offer cannabis curriculum to help educate the emerging cannabis workforce. Students can learn anything from cannabis healthcare, horticulture, compliance, and business development. In Nevada alone, there are 13,000 employees in the cannabis workforce. Classes will be starting this June, and after just 6 months, the certification will be earned. Courses are also available at UNLV through continuing education, and they are beginning this summer. Well, this could be very helpful for anyone looking to explore and expand into the cannabis market in the Silver State, Nevada, that is. On May 30th, the Cannabis Compliance Board, CCB, said it will issue one license for cultivation and one for production in White Pine County. It's only the second time in the agency's history that it's conducted a cannabis establishment licensing round, a spokesperson said. The application period will last 10 days, July 15th through the 26th, and it can be completed and submitted online. Visit the CCB website to learn more. Per the CCB website, Nevada currently has 140 cultivation facilities and 103 production facilities for recreational cannabis, along with 138 cultivation and 103 production licenses that are both medical and adult use establishments. Well, that's it for the 702. Please continue to follow Pro Cannabis Media for more on the 2024 Farm Bill update pertaining to the massive hemp industry. I'm Tina Tasaka with 420 Technologies and Weed Talk News.
Meanwhile, in New York City this week, law enforcement continued to crack down on the illicit market in that city with its thousands of storefronts, and over 200 illegal smoke shops have been sealed as part of the Operation Padlock to Protect. That is still, of course, less than 10% of the total illegal storefronts in the Big Apple. Police in Brooklyn raided a warehouse last week where millions of dollars worth of cannabis products were discovered that were going to be delivered to many of those illegal stores. Gummies, pre-rolls, flour, and vapes were all confiscated. Many of these products had colorful labeling and packaging designed to attract young people under the age of 21. And it is one of the most glaring developments in the industry that has led the movement to redefine hemp products that use Delta-8 and THCA that is slowly being banned in other locations.
Here with cannabis news from the great state of Texas is our correspondent, Lisa Williams.
I'm Lisa Williams with the Toke Agency, bringing you the Texas Cannabis Report for Weed Talk News. We got some high-flying news from Lockhart, where local activists are taking significant steps towards marijuana decriminalization. Let's dive in. That's right, folks. In a move that could make this small Texas town a lot more mellow, activists in Lockhart are turning over 900 signatures to get marijuana decriminalization on the ballot this November. That's double the number needed. Talk about going above and beyond. Elle Cross, who is the campaign manager for Mano Amiga's Lockhart campaign, was all smiles at the press conference, handing in those signatures to the city's secretary office. If approved, this measure would prevent Lockhart police from making arrests or issuing citations for Class A or B misdemeanors of marijuana possession. Essentially, you've got a little green and it's no longer a big deal. Lockhart Commissioner Darrell Thomas highlighted the potential benefits of this proposal, saying it's a small step on a better path for the community. He pointed out the racial disparities in cannabis criminalization and suggested that law enforcement resources could be better used on more serious crimes. Seems like common sense. Why chase the small fry when there are bigger fish to catch? Now, Governor Greg Abbott and Attorney General Ken Paxton aren't exactly lighting up in celebration. Abbott warned again that the chaos of cities starting to pick their own laws while Paxton has been busy suing cities that dare to decriminalize. Apparently, he thinks these activists are creating anarchy through the vote, and the voters might call it, voters might call it democracy. Despite the legal pushback, the green wave is still rolling in Texas. In addition to Lockhart, activists are also collecting signatures in Dallas for a similar measure. Previously, cities like Austin, Denton, and Killeen have made moves to reduce penalties for possession of marijuana, focusing instead on more pressing public safety concerns. So while the state government might be puffing out smoke, the local grassroots efforts are blazing a trail. Stay tuned, because November, Lockhart might just join the growing list of Texas towns where the grass is a little greener and the air is a lot calmer. Sounds like Lockhart is ready to light up the ballot box this November. I'm Lisa Williams with the Toke Agency, bringing you the Texas Cannabis Report for We Talk News.
Recreational cannabis sales in New Jersey increased 38% in the first quarter of 2024. New Jersey's recreational cannabis market sales for the first quarter of 2024 totaled more than $201 million, a 38% increase compared to the same period last year. With more news from New Jersey, here's Jill Goldsberry.
Hey guys, what's going on? Jill here with the New Jersey Area Report, and here's what's happening. The CWCB Expo is back this week at the Javits Center, and we are looking forward to a very exciting week featuring some specific networking events from NORML, the Normal Formal, and the Women in Cannabis brunch that will be happening as well this week. And this marks the beginning of Cannabis Week from June 2nd to June 8th. In other news, Jeff Brown, the current executive director of the CRC, is stepping down to transition to the Department of Health, where he will step into the role of commissioner for the health systems. And who was replacing him? Chris Riggs, current deputy executive director and former chief counsel, will be stepping into the role this month and taking over. Riggs has extensive experience as a civil litigator and administrative law and government affairs, which makes him the perfect person to step into the role. In other news, our state may be the first one to have named a strain after its governor. Prolific Grow House got a visit this week from Governor Murphy and introduced him to his strain called Murphy Sours. So that's very interesting for the industry in general to have that, but it also takes a look at social equity from the governor's standpoint. And after he visited with Prolific Grow House, he mentioned that Prolific Grow House is the perfect example of the perfect model for exactly what we're looking for this industry. And that gives you a little bit of news of what's going on in New Jersey this week. I'm Jill Goldsberry with We Talk News New Jersey and the Jersey Report, and we will see you again very soon.
Don't go anywhere. The C Block is next with the latest in the race to be the 25th adult use legal state to launch, and this one may be the last New England state to adopt a plan. We Talk News coverage continues after this. Coming up on We Talk News this week, WNBA superstar and Olympic champion Brittany Griner gets busted at a Russian airport for carrying hash oil.
Hi everyone, I'm Elena Pinto, and this is Weed Talk News.
Hey everybody, it's Brandon Jones with Big Green Distribution with the Missouri Cannabis Report.
I'm Karen Black from Greenfinger Consulting with the Arizona Cannabis Report.
I'm Matthew Friedlander, coming to you from the owner's office here at Skagit Organics.
I'm Amy Carter from Michigan Weedsters.
My name's Tom. You can find me over at Cannabis and Legalization News.
I'm Jill Goldsberry with We Talk News New Jersey, and we are back.
Andrew Behringer here reporting from Washington, D.C.
Our Canadian correspondent with We Talk News, Debbie Fazy with the Canadian Toke of the Week.
I'm Doug Miller from Highland Wall Street with this week's Cannabis Stock Report for We Talk News.
It's a whole new world of weed out there, isn't it? Everyone is learning new ways to titrate, ingest, consume, imbibe, and engage with this plant medicine we call cannabis. Now, let me tell you my cannabis story. You know, I've had 4 major surgeries in the past 23 years and suffer from osteoarthritis with a variety of metal parts in my body and one on deck. Now, thanks to those chronic pain issues, I've been a medical patient in Massachusetts for almost 10 years now. I remember my first trip to a dispensary just outside of Boston, and I told the bud tender I didn't want to smoke it anymore. So I tried edibles, then tinctures, then vaping, and now if I'm going to smoke, I only use the Weegits filtration system. What? The Weegits.com, Weegits, that's weed, W-E-E-D, G-E-T-S.com, is where you'll find the planet's coolest product that cools the smoke from everyone's favorite flower. The guy that started this was a pretty good medical device manufacturer, and he created this maze pipe that cools the smoking process from 1300 degrees Fahrenheit upon inflammation down to just 90 degrees when it reaches your mouth. That's right, 1300 down to 90. That's why this maze pipe is amazing. Now, add in the code of PCMTV and you get 15% off. So just go to Weegits.com and check out the best way to enjoy a cooler smoke with less coughing and hacking and more peace of mind.